Where did the sentencing end up?
So I should say first on the cooperation subject, my lawyer wanted me to cooperate. And by this point, I realized, like, you don't have a choice. No, that's not true. I could have been a gangster.
Yeah. What does it mean to be a gangster in this case?
Like a stand-up guy, I could have said, I'll just take it. Give me 54 years. Go fuck yourself. I'm not going to snitch on nobody. And I know you look at me and you think tough guy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a tough guy at all. I'm not doing 50 some odd years. Like, I'm not doing it. I don't want to do 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
I was hoping for, I knew it wasn't possible, but I would have satisfied for another slap on the hand like I got the first time. Mm-hmm. I really thought I deserved, honestly, when my lawyer asked me, what do you really think you deserve? And I thought I deserve 10 years. I deserve 10 years. But so she said, look, they want to talk to you. So the FBI, well, first the Secret Service flies in.
Mm-hmm.
They come in and they interview me.
Who's more terrifying, FBI, Secret Service?
The Secret Service was so overwhelmingly professional.
Mm.
The FBI, and really only one of the FBI agents that interviewed me, I don't know how he's an agent. I don't know. He was just ineffective, incompetent.
Oh, so it's a competence issue.
The other one was Candace.
Oh, you met her eventually.
Of course I did. Of course. She's
what was her opening
5'11", wearing 3-inch heels.
Yeah.
She's a giant and in impeccable shape, attractive, one of the angriest human beings I've ever met. And every FBI agent that I've met since then that knows her, and I mention, they all say, oh, what'd you think of her? And I'm like, what? Why? They go, and I was like kind of aggressive. They go, yeah, she's a bulldog. All of them are like, yeah, she's something else. Like,
Secret Service is a little bit more like
very personal, very, it's their job. It's like, hey, this is just my job. They're polite, professional, that's it. So this is my 9 to 5. So, but they come and they fly in and they meet with me for 3-4 days. One of the funny things is that when I first sat down with them, the one guy's name was Dan, like Broznkowski or something. So he sits down. He says, "Look, before we get started, we need to talk about something." And I said, "What?" He said, "We know you've hidden money, and we, And I was like, "What?" And he goes, we know you've got money hidden." I said, "I don't have any money hidden. What are you talking about?" And my lawyer's like, "Do we need to talk?" I'm like, No, I don't have nothing. I gave you everything. I gave you all the accounts. You got everything." And he's like, "You're looking at an obstruction charge at this point." I was like, I don't have anything. And he says, "We know you have money. We know you have money in different IDs, different identities, names." And I go, "What are you talking about?" And he pulls out a bank statement and he slaps it on the counter and he goes, "You've got money in Southern Exchange Bank. You've got $190,000 in Southern Exchange Bank." And I look at it and I went, it was in the name Walter Holcomb. And I went, did you call the bank? He says, "Yeah, we called the bank." I went, "Okay. Did anybody call you back?" And he said, "Well, no, we've left several messages." I said, "Did you go to the bank website?" He goes, "Yeah, I went to the website." I said, "What'd you think?" And he went, "What do you mean? It was bank website?" I said, "Yeah, but it was professional, right? It was like a professional website." And he goes, "It's a bank website." And I go, "Yeah, but it was well done." And he goes, "Oh God." Yeah. And I go, "Yeah, convincing." And I go, "It's all an illusion." And I said, "The bank doesn't exist. It's a fake bank. I made the bank. Made it when I was in, not even in Tampa. I think I got into Nashville when I made it." And I was like, "Yeah, it's an illusion. The bank statements." He's like, "They're color bank statements." I'm like, "Yeah, well, no shit." So, there's no, I said, "A matter of fact," I said, "Who did you leave I haven't paid for the service in months." And he turned around and he called it and it went, boo-doo-doo. It was disconnected. And I was like, "How do you not know that's a bank?" Well, it turns out there was a Southern Exchange Bank and I'd used their bank routing number. And so, I always thought that was funny that they it's like, well, I remember really for a split second there, I was kind of like really embarrassed that they caught me. I was like, I can't believe this. You're the Secret Service. Anyway, I talked to them. There's really, as far as the Secret Service is concerned, there's just not much I can tell them. There's just, like it was me. Becky's already told them everything. Amanda's already told them everything. It's not hard to track down. When they raided my house, they've got boxes and boxes. So it's laid out. It took forever. Like I still went through everything. I explained how I got the driver's licenses, how I made the bank statements, how I made the birth certificates, the whole social engineering of figuring out what these little loopholes are. It's like 7 days total with these guys. So
you mean like questions?
Yeah, it was like they questioned me for all day, and then they take me back to the marshal's holdover, and then the next morning I wake up and they chain me up again and bring me back.
What's that like? What's that process of questioning like? Are they? I mean, you're somebody who is exceptionally good at conversation. You're charismatic. It was part of the games you played. Are they good at conversation?
I mean, the problem is they're not there to shoot the shit. You see what I'm saying? Like they have an agenda,
but they have to use their words to get information out of you. Aren't they trying to manipulate you?
I'm not holding anything back.
Okay.
I'm not. It's not like I'm sparing Jim. Trust me, Jim's got to go. I mean, you're there 20 some odd years, but Jim can do 5. Bill can do some. Tom can do 6. Mm-hmm. I don't even like Jerry. Jerry can do 20. So I'm ready to cut everybody's throat.
But you're not guaranteed that you're getting anything for that.
Right. In all my time, I've seen one time where an inmate got a guarantee to have his sentence reduced. And it was signed by the head of the FBI. It was Robert Mueller. Gave it to him to have a conversation with him. That's the only time I've ever seen that document.
Okay, so a lot of days with both the Secret Service and the FBI.
So FBI was, Candace was irritated, didn't like me. And I remember when she took the cuffs off, I was like rubbing my wrist. She goes, "Your wrist hurt?" And I go, "Yeah." And she goes, "Get used to it." I mean, she was just an asshole.
Yeah.
Just all around. Not that she didn't have a right to be, but everybody else was professional.
Yeah.
So,
oh, Candace.
So we talked for 3 or 4 days with the FBI, and they asked a ton of questions. They brought documents. So it's like, hey, who signed this? It's like, oh, that's not my signature. That's so and so's signature. Or I signed that. I signed that. I signed that. That's so and so. Where'd this check go? Who is this? Oh, that's so and so. You're looking over everything. One of the things they wanted to know about was, which I never talked about because it seems so minor, is I bribed a politician. I got him elected because we got him elected to the city council so he could vote to get the lots. We bought like 100 vacant lots in Ybor City, and I wanted them all. They were all single family. We wanted them zoned multifamily, and so we bribed him and got him elected.
That doesn't seem minor.
It's not as sexy as the rest of the stuff.
That's pretty. I mean,
so that's a whole nother thing. Like I mean,
all right.
So what happened is when they got all of the bank accounts, they see all these checks going to Kevin White, and so they're like, "Why did James Redd donate $500 to Kevin White? Why did Brandon Green donate? Why did Alan Duncan donate? Why did?" And so I had explained to him, "Oh yeah, well we wanted him to be city councilman, so we paid, gave him a bunch of money so he could run the ad, so he could get elected, so he could then get all of our stuff. But because he never did, I took off on the run before he was able to do that. And then he ended up getting not long, too long after that, he ended up about 5-6 years later, he ended up getting indicted for bribery, but not mine, on somebody else's case.
Can I take a small tangent here and ask, how many politicians do you think commit crimes, are a little bit or a lot criminals?
I mean, I think there's some ways that are, they're seemingly legal.
The aforementioned gray area.
Well, that's not gray. Like this guy was, at one point, I couldn't find anybody to write $500 checks anymore. So I just gave him cash. Like I'm just handing him $7,000, $8,000, $10,000 in cash. So, but I think most of them have legal ways to make ungodly amounts of money for, influence. But is it legal? No, it's their politicians. They've made it so that it's not illegal. If you really sat down and explained it to someone, you know, the average person would say that's not right. Oh no, that's legal.